It's late, but I still gotta do the news report. What up, viewers? What up? What up? Calc Soups here, and today is Friday, December 17th. Technically, it's past midnight, but it's still Friday, December 17th, and that means it's time for a quick recap of the week in video game news. On Wednesday of this week, Nintendo did another Nintendo Indie World Showcase, or Nindy Showcase. That's what I usually call it, because they used to call it that. This one had quite a few cool-looking indie games. It started off pretty strong with Sea of Stars, which sounded like it was a sequel to a game, but that I hadn't heard of. But the 8-bit kind of kind of action RPG, puzzly world looked really good, and it's something I might be interested in. There was also another kind of 8-bit classic-looking game called Locomotive, where you're trying to solve a murder mystery on a train, which sounds a lot like the Oriental Express. There was another one that caught my eye called Afterlove EP, and it was all about kind of dealing with the loss of a loved one, and you were doing it through their guiding you while you played guitar, so it seemed like there was like a rhythm aspect to it as well. So I was really interested in that game. And then there was another moody game called Extinction is Forever, which was like you have to like keep your fox cubs alive because you're the last fox of all the foxes in this kind of post-apocalyptic or near future world. So yeah, a lot of the games seem to have kind of very much that kind of mood to them, where they were kind of trying to get a point across, or they just kind of seemed very moody and emotional. Not that, I'm complaining about that, but just kind of seemed like a really good, I don't know if it was a theme of what they were doing there, but overall, I thought there were a couple of games that I thought I would keep on my radar, but nothing like kind of blew my socks off and was really stand out to me. So, but let me know what you think down below in the comments if you think there was other games that you were interested in at the Nintendo Indie World Showcase. Tinytina Wonderlands has finally showed off the other two characters that are rounding out the party. Previously, we got the Berserker, which was like their barbarian elementalist class. Then you had Stabbomancer, which was an assassin, and now there is like a 2 or 3 minute trailer for the Clawbringer, which was the Hammer Bro. It also seems like that character was going to be the pet class, but you got like a hammer and you throw it back and you summon it to yourself. So very much Hammer Bro like. But also seems like you get a dragon, so I don't know if that's the pet class as well. And then Spell Shot just seemed to be your all-around mage casting big spells and polymorphs and stuff like that. So they're all pretty interesting. The one thing that I haven't seen too much on, but that I was recently brought to my attention was the ability to potentially cross class, which is definitely something that is part of like the traditional tabletop RPG. So it would be interesting to see what you can do with that. And also this would be the first kind of Borderlands game where you get to create your own character. And you're not one of the 4 stock characters. So interesting stuff. I'm excited to see more about Tiny Tina's Wonderland. I think it's going to be one of my favorite games of Q1 next year. Scorn, the game that is inspired by H.G. Geiger, the visual director behind like the Alien series. I thought the game had already come out, but we got a trailer this week talking about it is releasing next year in October of 2022. I could have swore this came out, I think, sometime during the pandemic. I was like, I want to play Scorn. That game really caught my eye. But it's not out yet. It's coming in October, so it's something to look forward to. I kind of call it like Flesh Shock. It seems very kind of Bioshock-y, where you've kind of got the weapons and the ambiance of the world, but it's a little bit more fleshy and gross with that kind of H.G. Geiger feel. So definitely something I'm going to keep my eye on next Q4. Tribes of Midgard. You remember Tribes of Midgard. Tribes of Midgard is on its 2nd season. This one is all about the World Serpent. So I think friends will have to get together to defeat Jormungandr, the World Serpent. It'd be really interesting to run around and do that. But you'll still be able to kill Fenris if that's what you wish. I think it's really cool that as they add more and more world bosses that you kind of randomize, so that there's a little bit of variety in how you go about getting to the final boss and how you defeat it and who's going to be there at the end when you're playing Tribes of Midgard. So could be interesting content to kind of get me and my friends back into it. Something that we were really excited for with Tribes of Midgard, and it was one of my friend zone games this year. So very excited to see more content coming out for Tribes of Midgard. Tencent has added another notch to its belt. It's slowly investing in all of the video game companies. Sorry, the little ball on my hat is a little bit annoying when it's behind me and I'm moving around a little bit. But they've added, Tencent is bought another studio. They have bought Turtle Rock, the studio that recently released Back 4 Blood, and the previous developers of the Left 4 Dead series. So apparently Back 4 Blood did well enough that Tencent wanted to buy the studio up. So I guess the partnership with WB only lasted so long until the studio got bought up. Hopefully we'll still continue to get more Back 4 Blood content while they're transitioning from publishing partner to first party studio. But Tencent usually leaves these studios to kind of do what they will, so hopefully they can continue with their creative vision for Back 4 Blood. We get more Back 4 Blood content because I'm pretty excited for that. In the world of delays and release slips, Valve has gone out and confirmed that the Steam Deck is still on track to release in February of next year. So if you are looking forward to getting your hands on your portable Steam machine, you will still be able to do that in February of next year. So I'm pretty curious how they're going to kind of defeat the shipping, all the shipping delays, but it seems like they have that in hand. So hopefully we can all still get our Steam Decks in February, according to Valve. So looking forward to that. Splinter Cell, or the next Splinter Cell game, has kind of reached the annals of like Half-Life 3 as far as like how hyped it is and whether or not it'll ever come out. But Ubisoft has stated that they are working on another Splinter Cell game, but this one is a remake of the original Splinter Cell game. So not a new one like that we all hoped for and were promised, but we are getting a remake, which should be fun and keep some Splinter Cell fans held over until we get that next Splinter Cell game, which should be exciting. PlayStation is finally releasing the official faceplates in January of next year. So just one short month away, we will be able to make our PlayStation look. What were the colors again? There was like a velvet or a violet. There was the blue. So basically, the colors of the shapes on the PlayStation controller. You got your kind of like periwinkle blue. You've got your kind of neon pink, and you've got a softer purple violet color. You'll still be able to do the black. And yeah, those are all, I think those are all the colors that you'll be able to get. Also, each of the faceplates has a corresponding controller that you can get to kind of matchy if you want. I'm still hoping to get the black faceplate to kind of round out the sleek black look of the console that I was hoping for. So hopefully I'll be able to get that in January of next year. On the other side of the aisle, Microsoft has made posters that you can buy commemorating the one of the low points in Microsoft's history with the Red Ring of Death. So for those of you who weren't triggered and had PTSD from what I just said, the Red Ring of Death was a overheating of the system that would cause the Xbox 360 to not be able to play. It would basically turn into a brick. And you'd get this kind of red symbol where you would normally get like a green circle. It would just turn red and be 3/4 full. And it was not a good sign. So they're selling, in order to commemorate that, Microsoft is selling $25 Red Ring of Death posters. So You know, if you see a Red Ring of Death poster in the background, you'll know where I got it. Very exciting stuff. Last but not least, Inscription is releasing a little bit more DLC content coming up in the next few months. For those of you who are excited about the kind of Slay the Spire feeling that you got when you first jumped into the game, you'll be able to continue to play that for however long you wish to do so. So they're introducing kind of an endless act system, so it should be pretty fun to play through that, which was one of my favorite parts of the game as well, was playing through the kind of roguelike card game at the beginning of the game. So very excited to see new content coming out for Inscription. But that's all for the week. Let me know if you think I missed something down below in the comments. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoy this content. If you do, follow, like, and subscribe to me on YouTube and Twitch so you can see more great content like this. I'll have links down below in the description. Thanks again. I hope you have a super day. I hope you have a super weekend. And I hope you have a super day. Bye!